Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is one of those rumors that could really shake up the AFC North and more specifically, the Steelers' plans for the upcoming season. Word has it that the Colts are actively exploring trading Jonathan Taylor, and the Steelers might be right in the middle of that conversation. It's a move that could define the Steelers' running game and overall offensive power for years to come. Let's dive into what this could mean, why it makes sense for the Steelers, and how it could impact the division and the playoff picture. First off, let's talk about Jonathan Taylor himself. This guy is a game changer, a true speedster with explosiveness that can turn any play into a big gain. Drafted in 2020, Taylor quickly established himself as one of the premier running backs in the league. Over his short career, he's racked up over 500 rushing yards and 55 touchdowns, averaging nearly 4.8 yards per carry. That's impressive for a back who's only been in the league for a few seasons, and his statistics keep improving. In 2025, he's projected to rush for close to 500 yards and 17 touchdowns, with a YPC over 517. For comparison, Taylor's YAC, yards after contact, is around 190 yards, and he's averaging over 7 broken tackles per game, a true testament to his power and agility. His PFF grade hovers around 85.0, which puts him among the top-tier backs in the league, period. The Colts, meanwhile, are in a bit of a rebuild. They've got about $12 million in cap space, but are heavily focused on building around youth, especially on the defensive line and at wide receiver. The team is also facing some cap flexibility, with a potential trade that could free up around $15 million. The catch? While Taylor is a proven star, there's skepticism about whether moving him makes sense right now because of their overall team trajectory. They've seen a slight dip in rushing yards, losing about 500 yards from last season. And with Saquon Barkley heading to the Eagles, the NFC East is already losing some of its top rushing talent, making the Colts move more about future youth development rather than immediate contention. Still, holding on to Taylor could be a gamble, especially if they're prioritizing future draft picks and cap flexibility. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the Steelers. Coming into this season, we've seen that their backfield has been somewhat inconsistent. Najee Harris has been solid, but he's not quite the explosive back that can carry the offense single-handedly. Their rushing attack has lacked that extra gear, especially in key moments. What if they could add a guy like Taylor? Suddenly, their rushing efficiency could jump by more than 20%. Imagine Taylor in the Steelers' offensive scheme, complementing Warren and giving defenses a headache trying to contain that duo. The projection is that Taylor could add over 200 yards rushing, with a YPC of around 4.5 compared to the current 4.0 yards per carry. That's a significant boost, especially considering his ability to break tackles and make big plays after contact. Plus, with Taylor's addition, the Steelers' expected points per rush, EPA rush, would see a notable increase, potentially adding around 15 points per play when he's in the game. And let's not forget, Taylor's presence could stretch defenses vertically, opening up more options for Kenny Pickett in the passing game. In terms of team impact, this isn't just about adding a star. It's about transforming the Steelers into a more balanced, dangerous offense. They already average around 3 points per game, but with Taylor, they could push that number even higher. The AFC North is fierce, with teams like the Ravens and Bengals constantly pushing the envelope, and adding a player like Taylor could give the Steelers that extra edge they've been missing. It's a move that could really elevate their playoff chances and possibly turn them into a serious Super Bowl contender. The odds have already shifted somewhat, from +1.0 to +550, reflecting how much Taylor could be a game changer, especially in the playoffs. His ability to dominate in ground battles, especially during the postseason, makes him a perfect X-factor for a team looking to strike fear into defenses and secure their spot deep into January. Now, let's consider the big picture implications. If the Steelers do pull off this trade, it could set off a chain reaction across the AFC North. The Ravens, who already have a solid ground game, could see their division rivals becoming even more formidable with Taylor joining Pittsburgh. It's not just about boosting the Steelers' offense. It's about shifting the balance of power, making the division even more competitive. For years, the AFC North has been a grind, with defenses and running games playing a pivotal role. Adding Taylor would give the Steelers a true foundation piece on offense, one that can carry the ball 20-25 times a game and wear down defenses as the clock runs down. But there's a catch, of course. The Colts, by trading Taylor, might be risking their own future. They're clearly looking to rebuild and focus on youth, and sacrificing their star back could slow down their progress temporarily. Still, for the Colts, this could be a strategic move. Getting a first-round pick in return would be a huge boon for their rebuilding process. It's a gamble, but one that might pay off in the long run if they can recoup the draft capital needed to build a competitive team around their young core. For Steelers fans, this rumor is exciting because it signals a serious push for a championship window. The front office has shown willingness to make bold moves, and acquiring Taylor would be a statement that they're not just content with being playoff contenders. They want to win it all. The combination of Warren's versatility, Taylor's explosiveness, and the development of Kenny Pickett could make this offense one of the most balanced and dangerous in the league. Plus, with improved line play and perhaps some strategic additions on defense, the Steelers could be looking at a deep playoff run that culminates in another Super Bowl appearance. Looking at the history of the franchise, Steelers teams have always thrived on a strong running game combined with stout defense. Adding Taylor would bring that old-school mentality into the modern NFL, making them a nightmare for opposing defenses. It's reminiscent of those great Steelers teams of the past, where the running game and tough defense set the tone. Taylor's presence could inspire the entire team, elevating everyone's play and energizing the fan base that's hungry for another championship. And it's not just about this season. The long-term potential is equally exciting. Taylor is only 25 years old, entering what should be the prime years of his career. If the Steelers can lock him up with a reasonable extension, they'd have a cornerstone for the next several seasons. Plus, his style of play fits perfectly with Steelers' identity, powerful, relentless, and always prepared to grind out yards when it matters most. It's a perfect marriage of style and substance, and for Steelers fans, it's the kind of move that gets everyone talking about Super Bowl runs once again. Of course, there are uncertainties. The trade market is unpredictable, and the Colts might ask for a hefty price. The Steelers will have to weigh whether giving up future draft capital to land Taylor makes sense in their overall roster development. But considering the tremendous upgrade he offers at a key position, it's an investment that could pay off big time. The coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin, has a knack for maximizing their players' potential, and adding Taylor would give them a weapon that defenses simply can't ignore. In the end, this trade talk is shaping up to be one of the most exciting stories heading into the offseason. It encapsulates the Steelers' ongoing quest to contend, rebuild, and finally bring another Lombardi back to Pittsburgh. If this move happens, it could be the catalyst for a new era, one where the Steelers are not just a good team, but a true powerhouse in the AFC. It's a bold gamble, sure, but it's also exactly the kind of bold move that could make Steelers fans dream once again of Super Bowl glory. The offseason is shaping up to be one of the most thrilling in recent memory, and we'll be watching closely, hoping that this rumor turns into reality. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think acquiring Jonathan Taylor is the move that puts us over the top? Would you be willing to give up some future draft picks for a shot at a Super Bowl run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. The offseason is heating up, and with rumors like this floating around, there's never been a better time to be a Steelers fan. Let's keep that passion alive and hope that this story turns into a game-changing reality. Because if it does, Pittsburgh's back in the hunt, and the AFC North better watch out.